So, is a four-year degree still the golden ticket to a better life? Or has it become one of the biggest scams sold to young people today? That question right there is at the absolute heart of a fiery debate that's raging on college campuses all over the country. So, let's break down the arguments. Okay, so let's start with this, a super bold, totally unambiguous claim from conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. And he says this directly to a room packed with college students. Now, you gotta understand, this isn't just some throwaway line. It's the opening shot in a huge battle over the value of higher education itself. But hang on, before we can really dig into that claim, we have to figure out what scam actually means in this debate. Because, in any argument, the definition you're working from is everything. See, Kirk isn't just using the word scam loosely. He lays out a really specific two-part test. For something to be a scam, he says, a majority of people have to lose out, and they have to be deceived from the get-go. This definition is the entire foundation for his case. So let's see how he tries to prove it. Now, what's really interesting is where the debate goes first. It doesn't start with tuition costs or job numbers. It starts with a much bigger, more philosophical question. What is college even for? And the whole thing really boils down to two opposing views. On one hand, you have the practical take. College is job training, pure and simple. It's a means to an end. But then a student named Maddox pushes back, arguing for that classical ideal. But college is about nurturing your soul and becoming a better person. For Maddox, you just can't measure the value of an education by the size of your first paycheck. He's making the case that fields like history offer something vital, something intangible to all of us, to society, even if they don't lead to a six-figure salary right after graduation. So once the philosophy is on the table, the debate takes a hard pivot. It shifts from big ideas to cold, hard data. And both sides came ready for a fight, armed with statistics that paint completely different pictures.
This is Kirk's bombshell statistic. His argument is pretty simple. If over half of all graduates are underemployed, meaning they're in jobs a high school grad could get, then the institution is failing on its most basic promise. It's a really powerful charge that the whole system isn't delivering what students are paying for.
But the students have a powerful counter-argument. They shift the focus. They say, okay, let's look past the job title and look at the income. Does having a degree, any degree, still give you a financial advantage over your lifetime? And this right here is the student's trump card. This number suggests a massive financial benefit. The argument is that even if your job doesn't perfectly match your major, that history degree still makes you a more valuable asset in the marketplace, and you end up earning way more than someone without one. But Kirk says, not so fast. That number is deceptive. He argues the average gets pulled way up by a small group of grads in super high-paying fields. We're talking doctors, engineers. He claims if you pull that top 10% out of the equation, the financial advantage for most other majors just disappears. It might even go negative. And just when it feels like we're stuck in this back and forth over statistics, a student named Parker completely changes the game. He doesn't offer a new statistic, he offers a whole new way of thinking that challenges Kirk's entire argument. And this is the pivot. This is the big moment. Parker takes Kirk's own definition of a scam, an institution that deceives people and doesn't deliver, and applies it to something else he knows Kirk values, the church. It's a direct challenge to the consistency of his logic. This is such a brilliant and classic debate move. It's a technique called reductio ad absurdum. Basically, you take someone's logic and follow it all the way to its conclusion. If that conclusion is something absurd, like calling the church a scam, then there must be a flaw in the original logic. And that one question completely reframes the conversation. Suddenly, it's not about whether college is a good investment anymore. It's about whether Kirk's definition of a scam is logically sound. Parker just shifted the whole battlefield from finance to pure logic, and it was a masterful move. Now, to really understand what's going on in this exchange, we have to zoom out, because this isn't just one conversation in one room. It's a single snapshot of a long ideological war over the soul of higher education in America. For decades, many conservative thinkers have been making this argument, that universities aren't neutral marketplaces of ideas. Instead, they claim they're institutions with a strong liberal bias that's actually hostile to conservative values.
And this fight is nothing new. It has deep, deep roots. You can trace it back to William F. Buckley Jr. at Yale, way back in the 50s. It got supercharged by a bestseller from Alan Bloom in the 80s, and now it's being led by organizations like Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA, which was founded for the specific purpose of taking this fight directly to college campuses.
So, when Kirk stands up there and calls college a scam, it's not just a debate tactic. He's literally fulfilling his organization's core mission. The goal is to challenge the institution itself and to argue that it has become hostile territory for conservative thought.
So when you get right down to it, the whole fight over tuition costs and job prospects, that's kind of a proxy war. It's really a battle between two fundamentally different visions of what a university should even be.
And that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? When we watch students and speakers square off like this, are we actually seeing the free exchange of ideas that universities were built for? Or are we just watching the front lines of a culture war where the very purpose of education is what's up for grabs?